Welcome to my weekly spiel. Welcome to my weekly spiel. Yada yada blah blah blah. Yada yada blah blah blah. It's time for Margaret's weekly spiel. Greetings and salutations. This is Margaret Franklin of Margaret Franklin Creations. And Happy New Year. Today is January 7th, 2026. How was your holiday season? I am relieved it's over. I kind of felt like everything was forced this season, like it didn't come naturally this time. I didn't even get both trees out. I managed to cover the first one pretty chock-a-block, and I haven't used all the ornaments in the box. I just finished putting the boxes of ornaments back into the closet a few minutes ago, and then I ironed my latest quilt squares, which you will see if you're friends with me on Facebook or subscribe to my Facebook page, The New Margaret Franklin Creations. It's been The New Margaret Franklin Creations for about 12-13 years now. So who cares? Because the original Margaret Franklin Creations was hacked, and I had to start a whole new account because the testing to get it back into my old one was ridiculous. I don't recognize most of the pictures that people have in their albums. I don't look through all of them. I don't know who everyone is. At that point, I had over 1,000 Facebook friends. Now, I think I have approximately 600. Not all of them are people I know very well, but if you're watching this, please feel free to say hello to me, either on my YouTube channel or on Facebook. Let me know where you're from and any random interesting facts you think I might like to know. You don't have to remind me my place is a mess. I already know it. Duh. But New Year's Eve was fun. I didn't quite get to do what I planned on. No whoopee cushion at midnight. I ended up going to bed at about 20 after 11, but I still herkled-durkled there until about 10 after 12, so there was no pomp or fanfare as usual. We did watch Kiss the Second Coming, and then I was on the computer for a little while. It's more fun to do the whoopee cushion thing when Jeanette and I are able to FaceTime, and we haven't been able to do that since she's been in the new place. She was determined to try and get it set up to work, but she couldn't. But I am happy to say things are going much better at her place now. She and Jan are getting along better. I think Jan's therapist really helps, and they've learned more about each other. They can get along better, and I'm really happy for them. There's no more of this nonsense talk about Jan wanting to move back to Lindsay. But I just pray that this peaceful trend keeps up and that they'll continue to get along. And I'm happy for them that things have been going well lately. Tomorrow is Jeanette's birthday, so she's going to be coming over here. We might put on some sort of crazy costume and do a silly dance like we did last year. Remember we had whoopee cushions in our tops, and I tried to squeeze hers and I knocked her over. Anyway, since the new year began, my husband and I have been watching a different Kiss video every night, almost every night. On New Year's Eve, we watched Kiss the Second Coming. On the first, we watched Alive. On the second night, we watched Kiss My Ass. And then I'm trying to think. On Sunday was Bob's Burgers night. Oh, no. I think the fourth, we watched Rock the Nation. There was no Bob's Burgers on Sunday, just The Simpsons. Life in our household revolves around Bob's Burgers and The Simpsons, and sometimes SpongeBob SquarePants. Oh, I had a fantastic Zoom meeting on Monday. I mentioned somehow the topic of SpongeBob SquarePants came up, and Bob says, what was it? How did he put it? Since SpongeBob's become famous, he's become a lot more self-absorbed. There was another sponge-related pun, something about pores. I forget how it went. But I talked to a woman who was just celebrating her 100th birthday. Isn't that amazing? I don't think I ever spoke to someone who's 100 years old before. I wonder if I'll get that old. I know Sunday night, Simpsons night, I had trouble getting to sleep. I was dealing with an existential crisis. I'm thinking, I am 61 now. My mom died when she was 81. That's only 20 years from now. Only 20 years? 81 seems like a long time, but 20 years is nothing. I've been married for 23, 24, 2027 we'll be celebrating our 25th. I was 57 when Dave and I celebrated our 20th anniversary. My mom was 57 when she and Dad celebrated their 25th. And I am so different at 57 than my mom was when she was 57. I think I was in my late 40s when it was a year after she passed away that I started dyeing my hair purple, and I haven't gone back since. A couple of times during the pandemic I've had various shades of blue. I might step outside of my comfort zone and dye my hair green for St. Patrick's. We haven't gotten that far yet, but my hair's been various shades of blue and various shades of purple, pink, like fuchsia. The other night I had a really vivid dream that I dyed my hair all rainbow colors. I've seen people do that on Facebook and it looks amazing, but I bet it's a real pain in the ass to maintain. And I was having a really interesting dream last night that my parents were still alive and we were all at Forest Manor, and I had gone by myself on a trip to Holland, and I had come back and there was a ton of mail waiting for me. All kinds of like Kiss magazines and stuff like that, and several boxes of cookies and baked goods. Like I remember one thing with lots of rainbow sprinkles. I made a real pig of myself. Good thing dream food doesn't have calories. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any taste either. Anyway, what else is new? Tomorrow is Jeanette's birthday. She's coming over. We might watch something, then again we might just hang out. I have my latest quilt square for Shannon. Think it will be done by the end of today, if not tomorrow. It's more than halfway. The other horses, the other two squares are on Dave's bed because I was ironing. See, there's her first horse. This is a horse from the Skylon in Niagara Falls. E. Morris. It operated there until sometime in the 1980s. And I was lucky. I had the chance once to ride that carousel. I got my dad to take me there that time that my parents and I brought our cousins from Holland to Niagara. And there's the last square that I've done for the Disney quilt. It has a row left. That's 4 more squares. Or 3.5 because the latest square is a work in progress and I don't want to show it to you until it's done because it's a surprise. I'll tell you more about it when the time comes that I have it finished. What else is new? The living room opens up on Friday. Yay! I can hardly wait. I'm wondering how I'm going to transport my stuff and myself since I'm having to depend on a walker. I seem to be get around quite well around the house, but I'm only going a short distance and I'm moving pretty fast. It's when I'm sitting for a long period of time or having to stand for a long time that my balance gets to, that my legs start to hurt or my balance starts to bother me. Back when Barb took me and Jeanette out to, was it Ajax? Excuse me. Ajax. I was fine most of the time because in the dollar store I was standing behind a shopping cart most of the time. And where else did we go? In the fabric store I could lean against tables. And where else did we go? Well, at Tim Hortons I didn't have to stand very long and it wasn't very busy there. I got to sit. But standing in line at Shoppers Drug Mart, that nearly did me in. Because nobody wants to use the self-checkout. Neither do I. I despise self-checkout. I won't use it. There was only one cashier on duty in a lineup from here to Mexico. I must have been standing in line a good 15-20 minutes. Excuse me. And so that, anyway, my knees started to hurt then. I started to feel really wobbly. So I'm glad that was my last errand of the day. Christmas was pretty non-eventful. It was quite nice. I have a Dave gave me a Now and Then gift card and this neat little flashlight. I have to dig it up for you. It's under here somewhere. This thing, it's got these little things that look like Viewmaster reels, and I don't know if you can see that. You probably can't. No, it's a little slide projector with all these little unicorn pictures. There are 2 more of these little Viewmaster reel type thingies. Anyway, I guess that's all the news for now. Happy New Year to you one and all. May it be a much more prosperous year than last year. And bye-bye. Be back soon. Thanks for watching Weekly Spiel.